those voices in my brain. And baby, they're saying I'm insane. You got me on the run.
Are we good? All right. Let's see if this one works. What's going on, everybody? This is Isaac, and we are back at the shack with my good buddies John Maxwell and Sammy Kalunga.
Hello.
You might have seen us on stage together with the band Los Roaches. Let's not forget Gabriel and Lewis are also in the house.
Hey, what's up?
Man, you know what? We had an issue with the audio. It was my problem. It was my fault.
Again.
I mean, I had a lot of things to do, but dude, it's crazy. I never panic because I've just, not just in podcasting, but even playing music. I've countless times to where everything's going good. You never know, a cable goes out or something goes out. And all you can do is just
Your drummer goes out.
or something, or that. Hey, I've had that before. I've had that a couple of times.
I remember when
Couple
you
of
got
times.
blown up on stage
Right?
by that pyrotechnic.
Yes, that was crazy. Luckily, we had a guitar player that played for metal church, so I was there to.
Yeah.
But yes,
You ever been shocked by a microphone?
yeah, dude. Oh yes. Hey, let me tell you, I've been
That
shocked
hurt.
before to where you see blue. You really do see
Yeah.
like a blue flash, like son of a bitch.
I was standing there. I was like, oh.
And
Pow!
Yeah.
but
What did he say, pal?
but we're good now. And anyway, gentlemen, Sam, would you play this weekend?
I did.
Where'd you play at?
I played downtown at Fuzzy's Tacos with Blue Houdini.
Yeah, shout out to Blue Houdini. Have they got an Instagram? Or y'all got an Instagram?
Yes.
There's the Blue Houdini, I guess.
I think it's that Blue Houdini
I think you just do that.
band.
Type in Blue Houdini. Great band. So how'd it go, brother?
It went well. Yeah.
That's
good
what's up.
crowd. You know, they had a good time.
That's what's
Yeah.
up.
Yeah.
Y'all been playing a little bit, haven't y'all? Blue Houdini or no?
Yes.
Because I know Chris and Ed have been playing.
Yes, they do a two-man band called Sticky.
Yes.
It's completely different tunes than Blue Houdini.
Right.
So it's a whole different set list. But yeah, it's cool. They've been doing really well with that.
That's what's up. And John, what have you been? I know I haven't been playing, brother. My hands, I'm barely getting to. I picked up the guitar yesterday. We had carpal tunnel on both my hands, folks. But I'm doing good.
Nice.
I barely picked up my guitar yesterday. My fingertips are still sensitive, and my wrist, both of them are just, they bother me. But man, my hands feel like I can just move them. At one time, it was like they were, what's that word? Calcified.
Golly.
It felt they were calcified. Yeah, just
Stiff.
it felt stiff. You know,
Scary, isn't it?
it felt like you could just crunch your butt. You know.
Skin's
Yeah,
tight over it.
yeah, but anyway, but man, I got them both done, and I already see some improvement. I just got the soreness to work out, and I'll be ready to play some guitar. You know, which helps because I'm recording this album for this one lady named, they call her Texas Trouble. And anyway, I did the guitar tracks, and right before my surgery, on two of her songs, I got one more that I got to finish this weekend, and I'm able to move my hand. So
Right on.
I got,
Perfect timing.
yeah. I mean, I rushed it. I was rushing because I knew I was going to be out. I figured I'd knock down as much as, and so I got the drums, bass, and guitar on those two songs down the way I wanted to. That way, all I could do is just start editing and mixing because I knew my hands were going to be out. But that being said, you know what? She's an independent artist. She singer-songwriter, you know, and she's doing it all herself. She's using my studio, the Shack Studio, and I'm producing her album for her. But she's doing it all herself. She's shooting a music video. She's even going to do like a record release thing she's going to do with the band. Sending it out to everywhere that has music. Of course, Spotify being the giant. And I mean, so what I'm saying, she's becoming her own record label. So that's what I want to ask you, gentlemen. Is that something? Do you need a record label? In my opinion, I think that you don't. It depends where you want to go to, but do you think you need a record label right here, right now, in these times? Not 10 years ago, right now.
To get your music out there and get heard, you don't.
I don't think you do either,
No.
brother.
It just depends how far you want your reach to be, right?
And that's what the whole thing with Instagram and even your little old Facebooks and YouTubes, the whole boosting and Google ads and all that. That's what I would. They're doing the same thing the record labels are doing. The same kind of like I said, that record labels obviously have the deep pockets. They have the thick Rolodex of not to mention musicians that they can call on for advice or collabs or whatever. But go ahead.
I think one of the things that's the problem with the jump between social media and that stuff and record labels is they're not accessible. The record label guys are not quite as accessible, and when you see
Right.
when you see anything about the record labels,
Right.
it's through a social media platform first.
That's it.
See what I'm
But
saying?
that's modern television.
Yeah,
That's to be honest. Me and my
you
wife.
hardly see anything on social media about that part of it. I don't
Yeah,
know.
I mean, the television, I think, is almost, with the exception of your TV shows like The Voice and We're American Idol, all that stuff. To me, I think for music, is kind of irrelevant because the modern television is up there in your phone that you take with you everywhere. You're getting all your information right there. You're not getting music from TV like back in the old days because MTV doesn't really exist as the music channel anymore.
Well,
that was back in our time.
Yeah, 30 years ago.
Yes,
is when,
exactly.
Is when American Idol started.
Exactly.
Remember
So,
that?
oh, yeah. Oh, was it?
We're
30 years ago?
It was.
No,
it
it couldn't
was
have
around
been.
No,
before.
2000.
No, yeah, it hadn't
Maybe
been
early
yeah.
2000.
No, it was around before it ever hit
Oh,
America.
bravo! You know what? I can see
yeah.
that.
Overseas, yes.
I can
yes,
see that.
overseas.
I can
Those
see that.
shows were popular overseas before they ever got
Yeah,
here.
It was like America Got
But
Talent.
and there's another example. A lot of of course, the ones that make it.
And it's
they get- they're-
23. It's 2023, and I remember watching it before 2000.
But that's not where people. Only ones that are going to look out for talent. There may be some people that may want to check them out on Instagram. Maybe some A&R scouts, but I don't think anybody's really going to American Idol to look for talent.
Not
To
anymore.
look for artists. For what? Because a lot of those guys are cover guys anyway. Unless you're really into it that much. And there's nothing else to do. But I think as far as
Well, a
looking
lot
at
of the development's coming from shows.
Yes, oh,
just like
yes.
that.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's
Instead of the old, being in a bar and
Yeah.
playing for 10 years.
well, like I guess 30 years ago, 40 years ago, if you were an artist, you had to get a record deal, and then they would put you on TV, right?
Mm-hmm.
That was the end game. They put you on TV. Jay Leno, Letterman, that was the pinnacle,
Called
right?
over to the desk.
Right, and exactly, and somewhere I'd say in especially the last 2 or 3 years, it's flipped now. The artist is being instead of working your way up to get to TV, now they're using TV to introduce the artist.
Oh yeah.
So there's one of the biggest acts in country right now is a girl named Lainey Wilson. You ever heard of her?
No, I haven't.
She's all over social
She was
media.
on Yellowstone a
Yeah,
couple weeks ago.
exactly. So she's on Yellowstone, and she was doing really well before, but after the Yellowstone thing, bam, it's done, right? She's
I can see that. I can see that
everywhere.
But also think about this in the what's hot this moment. So last week we had an injury in football, which made the entire world pray together again.
Right. Oh
on
yes.
TV, these guys showing things
That was freaking
it's never
scary.
done
Yeah,
on TV in
that
the
was-
last 8-10 years that I can think of.
That put a pin in your
No,
stomach.
that's never been on TV.
Yeah, and just as quick as everybody came together and blessed this kid, they went away. It's gone. So just like what's going to happen with this Yellowstone stuff, these it's like a flash in the pan type thing.
Right, right. Yeah,
15
but
15 seconds of fame?
those are especially the injury thing. That's just something that's very, very rare.
But
I think go ahead.
when it started, music was just the background. Now it's almost part of the who's going to be on Yellowstone this week.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got you.
So-
Ron Bingham's in there.
He's on all
Yeah, yes, and I was a big Ron Bingham fan for a long time. So when I heard he was going to came out on Yellowstone, I was so happy. And then when
I never seen Yellowstone.
I think he's a better actor.
when he got the recurring role, I was like, that's what I'm talking about.
I have never seen an episode of Yellowstone.
I
Really,
don't
but-
think that he was intended on being permanent.
Right.
I'm not 100% sure.
But he came with a lot of eyes. He came with a big audience, and they saw that. He was probably, to be honest, with the exception of Costner. Let me think, to make sure. No, I'm right. With the exception of Costner, he probably brought the most eyeballs, even before that dude Kip did, because nobody knew who the hell he was. But everybody knew Ron Bingham. Everybody knew Ron Bingham.
They funnel it back in through social media, right? So I've never watched Yellowstone, but I kind of know the gist of it because it's on the Instagram thing, right?
Yeah.
And so they'll post short clips, and you kind of get the gist of what's going on, and it's not just Yellowstone. It's anything on Netflix, comedy specials, series or movies, stuff like that. It always starts.
Look at Wednesday. Look at the series Wednesday Addams.
I haven't seen that one yet.
That's a pretty good show.
The whole, it's not even a kid's show. It's the whole Wednesday dance. That was on TikTok a lot.
Really?
Yes.
Gotcha.
Okay,
That stupid
I
dance on
think we're staying real far from the subject though. The main subject is, can an independent artist make it with the big boys? Was Ron Bingham an independent artist? He was to a point.
Yes and no.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say yes.
I mean,
and no.
I think he funded his album, and then it got picked up.
Right.
Right. So
you think you can go halfway?
I think right now Ron Bingham wouldn't even need a record label right now. I think Ron Bingham, even though he's not, but would go totally, if he were to go totally independent right now, he would be probably almost just as successful.
yeah. Well, again, it depends how far you want to go, right? Because the record labels are smart. When people started downloading music and they started losing money,
right?
It wasn't too long before they went, hey, let's get into the management game. And let's get into the booking and the just throwing the event and stuff like that. So now, record labels, because they don't make the money off the actual CD or cassette, whatever, man, they're promoters for the tour,
Right,
So
sure.
they've completely shifted their game. So I mean, at some point, if you want to play big festivals, you're gonna, do business with a record label.
Can you develop your own army without a record label?
Yeah,
Can you?
totally.
Sure,
But
there's
can you put, book an event, any event without a record label?
Oh
Of
yeah,
course.
that's easy. Now
Of
that's
course,
easy.
but
Any band can do that.
there's
That's not what I'm saying.
There's bands traveling all around the United States and Europe and
Or
England
huge
that,
events.
and they're playing sold out night after
That,
night.
if that was the
theaters.
question you were asking, Gabriel, that's a good question.
Yeah.
So can you do like
Stadiums.
what's the one I'm thinking? What's the
that's-
one that
that's
was
a stretch.
Bonnaroo? Can you do Bonnaroo? That's not an independent artist. Can you do Bonnaroo without a record label?
Sure,
Can you do stadiums?
that's a stretch.
That's a
Because
stretch. Yeah.
you have other,
Those are you talking about
Ticketmaster.
deep pockets?
Yeah, you
I
do.
mean,
And
there's a
even
lot of
Ticket-
sponsors in those deep
Yeah,
pockets
even
right there.
Ticketmaster, when you buy your stuff from there, their labels.
Well, yeah.
They work for the labels.
So stadium, you're only gonna have like you're not gonna go to Jerry Jones and book September 17th,
No.
but through a promoter,
Yes. Because
You're-
there's a lot of red tape. You can't just say, "Oh hell yeah, you can. I'm free." It doesn't happen like that. You
And-
got to
and
have a
also
lot of
there's-
backstory.
There's also venues that will only hire these companies.
True that.
Sure,
right.
sure.
True
They've
that.
got a contract.
Yes.
That's what I mean.
They run into that in Dallas.
Yeah.
Yes. Austin, San Antonio, they run to all that.
Yeah, the Archangels were playing, and they're not on a record label, but they played a venue in Dallas last year, and that's pretty much
Where
on.
did they end up playing?
I forget what it was called.
Granada or something like that.
Something like that.
Something small like that.
Yeah, well, they did Granada, and then they came back and did that place I'm talking. I think it's not the Warehouse, the Loft, or something like that, but it's a showcase room, and I forget what the label is, but it's a showcase room for the label. So they just bought a club,
What
Let's
talk-
Yeah.
let's talk about the Archangels, because they weren't really independent, or were they before? Or were they signed before? Because they had a different situation. They were almost like somebody put them together, or I'm not sure exactly what it was, but they were almost like an independent band, but they were signed. Is that the story? What was the story with those guys?
Well, I know they were on Geffen, and one of those cats had a deal with Geffen, right? I think Charlie Sexton had a songwriting deal with Geffen, or
I think he had that. What was the one hit that he had? It was in black and white.
yeah. Was it Beat So Lonely?
Beat Solo.
Yeah.
So that was where I guess they got a taste of the Sexton
Right,
Brothers.
right. And yeah, I mean,
then Stevie died, so we had a rhythm section,
yep,
and just happened to be in Austin.
yep.
Now, what happened to the other Sexton brother?
I don't know.
That was the one. That was the one that had the bigger hit.
Will and the Thrill? Was that?
Man, I forget, but I know. But it's this way. Joe Rogan even talked about him. That's like he was like some kid from Austin. That's like a good-looking dude that was making a lot of noise and just chilled out. And you figure being the Sexton
Brothers. Though,
yes, there was the Sexton brothers. That's right. But I don't know where the hell he's at.
Well, we need to have an outing of some sort and go to Austin. And one of the things about Austin is you go to Austin,
You get mugged.
their appreciation for music is a little more refined. They actually go out and they almost study their musicians that they go see. They know, hell, it's like trying to sell a car to a guy that wants to buy a Subaru. They often know more than the salesman trying to sell it to him. So
Got you.
But you go to these bigger towns and they appreciate the music. There's clapping and they're focused on you.
Yes.
Here it's more about the social thing, which is not a bad deal.
Here, Waco, or here, Austin.
Here in Waco.
Got you.
Waco,
Okay.
There's more. It seems like more attention's put on what's going on around it, like
Got
the
you.
social part.
Yes.
Which is fine. That's cool. But they're not as studious for what they're going to see.
Got you.
I don't know.
But well, you know what? Speaking of Austin, I contacted or hollered at that boy, the bass player Jeff. What's his name?
Pace, yeah.
I talked about I really don't want to be a guest based show, but I wanted to have him on here. I know he has a pretty cool radio program over there in Austin, but I'm sure he has a lot of stories. He's played with probably the who's who in Austin.
Yeah, for sure. And he's toured with everybody. So,
yes.
Yeah.
But I talked about. He said he's definitely down. Just let him know. But you know what, dude. So Austin right now, I'm not in the know. Sammy probably knows more than I do. That was the place that I wanted to play right when I was out of high school. I got to make my way to Austin. Now, not so much. So is it a thing anymore now, or what's going on in Austin right now? And also, is it the music capital of the world? Because I want to say, nay, I'm saying Nashville may have taken over.
That's been a fight for a long time anyway. Because they got their feelings hurt when Nashville kind of got. I think Nashville took the name for a minute.
Well, you know what? I don't see why not. Nashville is what's happening. So Austin's what's happening too. But
Austin
music
kind of tripped out a little bit.
and music though.
It was in Statesman or something like that.
I don't know. Prove me wrong, Austin, if that's the case. But I think
they got to get a lot of stuff straight in Austin, man.
That's where I want to go play. That's what I've always wanted to go play. I mean, I loved playing at Austin. Every time I played there, I loved it. But right now I don't know. Is it cool? Is it not cool? Where can we play?
Man,
Where's the places to play?
I think I would rather shoot a little further south for San Antonio. It's more the town's more spread out and it's not as congested. And have you tried to drive around Austin lately?
It's terrible.
It's a nightmare. If you don't know where you're going, you're screwed. Imagine having a trailer behind you.
Wow.
Or a bus for that matter.
John, remember when we went to go see what's that gentleman's name?
Grisham.
David what?
Grisham.
Oh, it was Grissom that time. That's right. It was David Grissom that time.
Mm-hmm.
Remember what that lady said about 6th Street when we were having that beer?
Hardly anyone goes there. They come to this area.
Yeah,
it's dead.
yeah.
Basically
The locals
do not go there.
The locals do not go to 6th Street anymore.
No.
Them days are gone.
Yeah, it's
crazy because that's talking about a legendary street. Anybody who knew just a little bit about music would hear 6th Street from anywhere in the United States and go, oh yeah, Austin. Bam, yes, I know 6th Street.
And you still get mugged.
Well, back then, probably so, but not right now, yes.
It was cool. You could walk down and there would be a band playing almost
Everywhere.
every block.
Everywhere, man. I love
Almost
it.
every other bar.
Yes. I
And then they have
love it.
DJs in other bars.
That was
You
a long time ago, though.
That was a long
Yeah,
time
it was-
ago,
yeah.
though.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
Yeah.
Move
You know. So is Nashville the music capital?
Haven't been to Nashville in a while.
Really?
Well,
I heard it's popping.
Yeah.
Hey, you can move
I heard
to
it's popping.
You can move to Nashville, and your neighbor be in the industry too.
Oh, for sure. Oh, I
And
know.
the guy
Really?
on the other side being there.
Oh, I live there. I know.
And the guy you buy your pizza from, and the gas pumper, and everybody's from.
Yes.
It
I'm
sounds
guessing
like
the janitor too.
Yeah.
Yes.
It sounds like
Hey,
LA.
want to hear a song?
Right.
I mean,
So I mean, they're
that-
inundated.
I
They're
tell you what,
inundated with
That
everything.
sounds more
You
like
know-
LA, like everybody's
you
an
know,
actor in
when I
LA.
used to
LA
live in
sucks.
when I used to live in Nashville, we lived in I forgot what the name of the town was, but a pretty nice part of Nashville. I worked in town. I worked right in downtown Nashville. I remember all the time, maybe not every day, but several times a week.
They
I-
go.
I
"Are
would
you
drive-
here to do my laundry?"
I'm going in to Nashville, and I see a musician, vehicleless, with the guitar or whatever, walking out of Nashville, dead broke.
Mhm.
Because you can be broke with the car, but dead broke, you walking. You know what I'm saying, dude?
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy? But that was true, brother. That happened all the time.
But it's also those trust fund baby dudes
Yes.
that like to go, you know what? For about 5 years, I'm going to walk around and act like I'm broke.
Act like I'm poor. I
And
know
I'll,
it.
and I'll have
You
a
know?
credit card sewn into my backpack in case
Right.
mom can't send me some, Greyhound money.
Yeah, but that's sometimes.
Yeah.
They would get tired of that really quick once their weed ran out.
Yeah.
But I don't know. But
They're
it's
roughing it. They're roughing it.
I tell you-
think I
Yeah,
had-
I mean, it's good for the
well,
soul,
what's
especially when you can go back.
what's
to-
does anybody know? Simon, you were just in Houston the other day. What's Houston like right now in music scene? Is it?
No, it's not.
It's
I
not
mean,
popping?
I think there's a lot of places to play. I mean, if you're in Houston, you can stay busy,
Right.
right? Kind of like Austin. Definitely a lot of venues,
Right,
events
right.
and stuff like that. The thing that Austin had that not a lot of cities had, except for like Nashville, is that it was all centralized,
Right.
right? So you had all the stuff on 6th Street, and then Antone's
For
was
sure,
right
it was
there.
all right there. Yes, and then
Stuff.
Congress is
It
right.
was
you know-
more for containing the
Yeah.
party.
Yes.
Yeah, within walking distance, you had
Exactly.
It
big
was a
venues,
bowl.
Stubbs. Stubbs would bring all kinds of bands.
Good
through
old
there.
days.
And so when it's centralized like that, man, that's a powerhouse. Houston, it's more spread out, right? You can't get to all those spots.
Nashville's
on
that
foot.
way. You got-
Nashville's like that.
You got Broadway, you got 2nd Street, you got all these other places around that, but the main places are Broadway, 2nd Street. That's it, and
San-
it's popping.
Yeah, San Antonio is just a more.
That's
kinda
scattered,
laid
dude.
back. It's more laid back and it's not as congested.
you
I used to play. I used to
downtown
play
on the
Tejano
Riverwalk.
there,
Yeah.
and I've only played the places that were like clubs in Tejano. And Austin, I mean in San Antonio, I don't think I remember playing any clubs. I played
How many
events.
fights did you see? How many fights did you see?
No, it
No.
wasn't like that. But I went to events like maybe it could be like I played a wedding. We played for a lot of the stuff at Fanfare. Maybe
You didn't play Fiesta, did you?
Parade of Flowers. Yes, I played all of those things in San Antonio, bro. A long time, dude. Tejano was big, dude. It would be balls packed, shoulders rubbing shoulders, everywhere. It was just at one time it was just. I mean, it's still a big thing, but back then,
2:00 in the
Well,
morning.
what,
it was
happened
still
no, it
there.
was-
what happened there?
and dude, to be honest, here's what happened to Tejano. Very, very quick, and it's very easy. Emilio went to country, and Selena died. That was the king and the queen. Emilio came back after Selena died, but Tejano, that one blow with Selena dying really it hurt it a bunch.
Well, wasn't she kind of
She was
turning her back on that?
no, not at all. She was crossing over, never turning her back. She was crossing over, living the American dream. Because remember, she was a Tejano. I mean, she spoke English. That was her English was her primary music that she listened to. She just her, she got coaching and singing Tejano. She was known as a Tejano singer. But just like me, my parents are
Well, that was
Hispanic.
also her father pushing.
Yes,
her.
that's what
Right,
that
right,
was.
right, right,
But
right.
so
Keeping the
yeah,
culture
the whole goal was always to cross over.
Mhm.
When she died, it really meant it hurt Tejano a lot. And to be honest, man, as a Tejano fan, and I have many Tejano musician friends that are playing out there with all the big bands, and they say it's doing well, but it's I don't know if it's ever going to come back. And another reason why I don't think it's ever going to come back because at one time when people were listening to Tejano, all the kids and all that, they're 40 years old right now. Their kids ain't listening to Tejano.
Mhm.
That's where it dies.
Yeah.
It's gonna trickle. It's gonna trickle down. Oh, my kid listens to Tejano. Yeah, your kid, but a whole bunch of them ain't. That's just what it is.
I think I might be the last generation.
And I don't know. To be
No,
honest,
actually, like,
it's
listen
always
to it on
it's
the
always
radio
gonna
and
be
hear it.
around because, like I said, a lot of them are 40. DJs can live to be whatever, so it's gonna be around. Is it gonna be as dominant as it was in the 90s?
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
I'm the last that
I don't
heard
know.
it at its,
Well, you
like,
would
prime.
think, is it the different dialects that are living in America now?
Yes, that
That's
helps.
the
That's
reason
another
why it
too.
split it up?
That's
Is it a
another
re-
reason they're going to more norteño, which is
Yeah.
norteño is the people from Mexico that live here, north of Mexico. It's called norteño, northern. That's anyway.
It
I
was.
think it's kind of funny. I had a conversation with a customer today,
Right.
and he was from a Spanish descent,
Mhm.
but he was complaining about our situation with the immigrants. And so I'm sitting here listening to him kind of bash his own people. a little bit,
Right.
And careful not to say or agree to anything. Because
Right.
You know when you fight two brothers, or you fight, you
You fight one, you
try
gonna fight
to
two.
try to
Yeah,
break
yeah,
up two brothers
Yeah, yeah,
fighting, you gonna
yeah.
fight about.
yeah.
So I'm sitting here and I'm thinking, yeah. He's saying all this stuff, which is true. Everything he's saying is true, but
Yes.
it carried on for longer. And I went, that nervous thing where you go, okay, all right, man, all right. And went on another 15 minutes, and these guys, they're kind of pissed, and he's talking about how the immigrants don't like each other, or the Venezuelans don't like these guys.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't
that's
know
true.
about that. Yeah,
That's true.
So they're getting over here, and they're not going to be together. I mean, this is going to be.
but are they here in
divided as-
Texas?
Well, they're
Yeah.
crossing over.
I guess so.
Yeah,
I guess
yeah.
so. Wow.
And so yeah, it was.
Lewis, you got anything going on, brother?
Nope.
He said nope.
So let me ask you this. So y'all know who Ryan Adams is, right?
Yes. Yeah, I was gonna ask you about
The Americana singer.
Yeah.
Not Brian Adams, Summer '69. Ryan
Ryan
Adams.
Adams.
So he's doing
That was a
something.
good year.
The guy who wrote Blue, the original songwriter of Blue.
Gotcha. Yes. So check this out. So this is the third one he's doing like this, and he's already done 2 in the past. But he's gonna redo the Oasis. What's it called? Hello, Morning Glory. Right. The whole
Wow.
with Wonderwall.
Well, he did do Wonderwall.
Right. So now he's gonna segue into the whole album.
In his voice.
He's
In
gonna
his style or a
he's
cover?
redoing the album. So
Okay.
I think the first one he did was a Dylan album, and then he redid Bruce Springsteen's Nebraska album, like start to finish.
Wow.
So you've had a lot of artists do albums of covers, right?
Yes,
Where it's
yes.
all, what was that? Get Me Out of the Record Deal album,
Yes.
right? They do a whole album of covers. Skid Row did one.
Or
bunch
you
of-
owe them that one
right,
last record.
right. Guns N' Roses,
Yeah.
right. But I don't think this cat's on a record label. If he is, I think he used to own it. So he's doing it just as an artist, right?
Somebody as a fan.
Yes.
Also,
So what do you think about that?
I think that is badass. You know what? I would love that. I mean, if you love somebody's music, and you have right now, like we're talking about the topic about do you need a record label? Right now, dude, you can do whatever you want to do. Why not do it? If you can think of it, you can make it happen. Do it. I'm telling you, do it. Do not live with regret of any kind. Really, I'm telling you, do it. If you want to do it, do it. I mean, you know what? That'd be if we were to do that, and I'm going to start because I just thought of one. If I were going to do one, and it'd be something very simple. It would be the Archangels album. I would love to do that one. I don't know how I would do it our own way, but that would be an album. I mean, I just loved it so much. How about you? Which one would you pick? If you were to do an album, your own interpretation, which one? What would it be?
Well,
Jeff Buckley's
everything that
Grace.
these guys are doing are definitely. This is definitely a game
Hello?
that is. It's a. This is no accident.
Right.
The songs are not just random shit that he's picked.
Right.
There's a reason for these. These songs are going to end up in product placement. They're going to end up in movies.
Yes, yes.
You know, whatever.
That's
the case
true.
may be.
That's true. I think
So
I
there's
jumped
no
the gun.
accident to what's going on.
Right.
An album.
You know
It'd
what?
have to be some Van Halen.
I,
or something. You know what I mean?
I said the Archangels, but now that you said it that way, then I probably wouldn't pick that. Now I really got to think something that really means something to you.
Well,
Because
let-
that means a lot to him.
So let me ask
Right.
you this. Okay, so nowadays, the whole album concept, it's different than before, right?
People are doing one song, focusing on the one
Yep,
song and
yep.
producing it and getting it out there.
Yeah,
instead of the whole
right.
sandwich.
They'll do an EP,
Mhm.
right? So first, it's a single, and then it's an EP,
It was.
and then
Now it's one. Now
Right.
It's one
so
song.
if you look back, albums used to be meant to you'd listen to it start to finish, okay? And not all albums.
You
are
only
good.
get
With
one
cool-
chance to get in that doorway to their home and get on the
With,
Yeah.
with cool
record.
artwork.
So let me ask you, what's an album that's good, and it can be from any era, but something that you used to listen to start to finish, it's that good. And I'll go ahead and say this: Dark Side of the Moon's not on the table because that's a gimme.
Oh, I was gonna say that.
Of course, Lewis.
Oh, I already know what mine is. I'll tell
all
anybody.
right, go ahead.
No, let me think. Let's. I'm gonna pass it on.
You go ahead.
Me?
All right.
So start to finish, it's
Oh,
so good that you have to listen to the whole thing.
Oh yeah, right here. You're looking at it right here.
Guns?
Yes, that's it.
So
Appetite for Destruction.
Appetite-
All day long,
Um,
upside down, inside out, all the
If
time.
you pick Appetite, I'll have to go with the Black Album, Metallica.
That's
That's
a
a
good
great
one
album.
too.
Great
I'd
album,
go
brother.
Back in Black.
I don't know if you heard of this artist, Jeff
Like-
Buckley's Grace.
Who?
Jeff Buckley.
Jeff Buckley.
That's a great one too. Yeah, yeah. That's a good album too. Man, I'd go Back in Black. That's if I put that on, I have to listen to the whole thing.
Man, I'm gonna tell you. My first car, I rode around playing one of 3 albums, and one of them was Power Age.
Right on.
That one was good start to
Yes,
finish.
yes.
That's one, and it's one that you wouldn't really sing along, but it would have to be, if it was a sing along, it would be Journey's probably early stuff,
Greatest hits.
with Steve,
Right on. Right on. Yeah, that's a good one. If you're gonna do one,
How about you, brother?
if I would to redo one,
No.
Listen,
Two different ones. Two different ones. I said Archangels for that. No, I said to redo one and one you can still listen to start to finish.
so start to finish.
You
It's
said
that I said Back in Black.
But okay, if you redo one,
But, I mean that's my redo.
Back in Black.
Back in Black.
How would you do it? And man, because remember those 3 chords, bam, ba-da-da.
Oh yeah.
That's very stamped,
Oh yeah.
and they're stamped in the Rock and Roll Hall of
Yeah,
Fame.
you got to break those guitar chords up.
If I have to redo an album,
well, you would
Okay.
definitely not do it linear.
Yes.
You would probably start the song off with the bridge of some sort, or something to ease into it.
Maybe do it even. I know. Check this out. Maybe
Oh,
even do it Pink
oh,
Floyd
um,
style.
Maybe
the arrangement
2112.
would be
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah.
Louis, hold on. Louis,
2112 Rush.
2112 Rush.
Good Lord.
2112.
You want to redo that album?
That's pretty strong.
I wouldn't mind.
There's about 4 years of your life that you'll be giving up to.
Shit, it took
No,
them, I think
I'll do
it
it in
took
a month.
them 4 years.
No, I
I'll
would
do
do one that
and
would
they
give me a
wrote it.
headache.
No. I will
I
do
would
that.
probably just have heart attacks and strokes trying to redo this one. Chinese Democracy.
I never heard that album.
That's
No.
a first.
No,
Yeah,
but
I would try to redo the whole
Yeah.
thing.
The spaghetti incident.
Did they have another singer or something in that one?
No, it was
What was
actually
weird
it
about
was
that
actual,
album?
but the whole band
Oh,
was
they
really
had Buckethead.
yeah.
that's what it was. Okay.
I was dude.
So they did have another guitarist. That's
Yeah.
right.
Oh, they had everybody. Everybody was different. From the guitarist to the drummer to everybody was
Dude, let me tell you, dude.
That band, I remember that.
that band.
You know, I've been told, I've been asking like a bunch of times, like, why I got a Les Paul. One, I always wanted one. But another big reason, because, dude, I wanted to be like this dude right here when I was a teenager. Remember, Slash came out when I was a teenager.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
16, 17 years old. That was the dude that I wanted to be like. That's how.
And he wasn't no more older than
It
Yeah,
was
that-
out 2 years before I even listened to it.
Oh, really?
I thought it was. I came from Journey. And
Right, right. That's
Boston.
but that's how much that's how
That
much
was evil.
I love Guns N' Roses. So whenever Slash was not in it, I could not listen to it. It was just like it was like Van Halen without Eddie. That just does not work for me. You can change singers, but you cannot change the guitar player. I don't know what singer you would have picked for Guns N' Roses, but I know Buckethead is a great guitar player. What's the other one's name, Sam?
I don't know.
I forget.
Yeah.
Well, whatever.
See, that's what
But
it
it
is.
wasn't Slash, so that's why it just blew me away.
What band hired Guns? AC/DC.
Oh yeah.
No,
yeah.
it was
Metallica.
Metallica.
And
What?
Metallica.
No, it was
No, when
AC/DC.
Axl Rose was singing for him.
yes,
it's
yes,
AC/DC.
yes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah.
They picked that dude,
Yeah.
I can see him rocking that though.
but I'm gonna have to go.
I
back
bet
and
he
listen to
killed it. You
And-
know what?
well,
There's probably
remember,
video
he
of it.
killed a
Remember,
lot of stuff.
like
But-
a week into it, he broke his leg.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
is that
yeah,
what
and
it
he had to
was?
sing from the
Wait,
thing.
wait, did he
Yeah,
break
like a
his leg
throne.
or did he complain about somebody?
No, somebody broke his leg and he wouldn't give up. 'Cause he
No,
was
but no,
Shit.
I'm pretty sure he killed. At least I think I saw him do Back in Black. As a matter of fact,
Wait, you mean to tell me that fucking Axl Rose did?
he sang for AC/DC
That's
at
right,
one
he did.
time.
Brian Johnson was out on a hiatus due to a ear injury.
No, it wasn't his
or-
throat.
No, it was something to do with.
Yeah, he's
Hearing.
blown his ear out.
Oh, he's blowing his
Yeah.
ear
Ears.
out.
Wow.
Yeah, it was
Wow.
hearing. So
The
they
Earls.
had a tour that was planned, or
I'm looking
Those.
they started to plan and said, "Hey, let's do like Queen did and get Paul Rogers." They got Guns N' Roses guy.
You know what? Why not?
Excellent.
He brought a lot of people. I bet he brought a lot of people. and
Yeah,
and-
that was where that meme came from, where he's like, looks like your drunken uncle.
would you not be
Yes.
intrigued?
Remember that? Where
Yes.
Oh, were you not intrigued at all?
But
no,
Axl?
no,
Axl with the AC/DC?
no, no, no,
No.
no,
I
no.
never watched it.
No.
No,
I mean, come on. I mean, at least
No.
to check it out, at least for the freak show aspect of it. Would you
No.
not want to see that?
AC/DC should
No,
never be a
I'll
freak show.
not me, dog.
I did get
Pass
down on that Paul Rogers and Queen though.
That one blew my
I
mind.
didn't see that
They
one.
I'm
went hard.
actually watching the Axl.
That
Rose
one blew my
performance.
mind.
I saw the.
This Wolf
hold on.
Mother guy thought he was a shoe in.
If I heard that right, Lewis said he
right.
watched
Wolf
it.
Mother was like,
Yeah.
What's
I
that?
sound like him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Lewis, did you actually watch the Axl Rose?
Yeah, I'm actually watching it right.
How is it?
How is it?
It's good.
What
I'm
is
telling
it?
you, that's Axl Rose. Get out of here. Of
What
course.
what is
no,
it?
No, it's his voice. It kind of matches the aesthetic.
Yes, it matches Brian Johnson. I'm sure that's
Now,
probably why they
we're
picked
not
him.
saying that there's one or two that was okay.
Well, you got to think those guys have done tons of drugs for like 30 years. Well, actually, it's been 30 years ago since they were really at their like strongest. You know, the fact that they're doing it, you better catch them now. Well, actually, you can't catch them anymore. But at that time, those people that were watching them were saying, "Dude, I will never see this event what I'm watching right now again." I would have loved to have been there. Really, I mean,
Speaking of which, I'm gonna go watch Journey.
really.
While they're still roaming the earth, I'm gonna go watch Journey.
That's what's up.
It's time.
It's time.
So
Yep.
the new singer.
Yep.
It's. I'm gonna tell you something. I saw him, and we were
A freak show.
We had good seats.
That
We
dude
didn't
is
have to fight the crowd
ridiculously
at all.
awesome.
We had a hotel across. The guy still has a hard time with English,
Sure.
and it's very evident. So there is nothing but music.
Right on.
Otherwise, he's gonna say Dallas 15 times.
Yeah, he still does that.
He
Yeah.
changes 3 or 4 times. The drummer that was on tour sang 2 or 3 songs and smoked his ass.
Oh, that dude's a badass.
No way.
Yeah,
him.
yeah, that drummer's
That drummer?
nuts,
The drummer.
dude. Dean
Wow.
Castronavo.
something like that.
Yeah,
Italian dude.
He's mean, dude.
He did Mother, that song Mother.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Would you
well,
ever see?
There was
on.
the keyboard even sang.
yeah, he
He
sings a
did-
little bit too.
He did some.
Yeah.
Since we're talking about performance, would you ever see Kiss live?
If
No.
sure, I'd go watch him.
Lewis said no. He's like, hell no.
I saw Journey with Steve, but with Randy Jackson.
Oh, get out of town.
Yeah.
Who?
In the round.
What'd you see?
Journey with Steve Perry in the round with Randy Jackson.
No, you
on
didn't.
bass.
How was that?
Swear to God, it was Journey in a stadium. It was a
Kick,
killer-
that's
it was a
kick ass.
killer
I like
show.
Randy Jackson, dude.
But you could tell that they were on their way out because they were sick of each other.
Oh, I got you.
Because Steve Perry always sang with a mic cord. He never sang with wireless.
Right.
Just no one would want to, especially with those kind of notes.
Right, right.
Anyway, Randy Jackson steps on the cord while he's doing his moves,
Ha!
and when he does, Steve does everything he can to take that cable and yank it out from under his foot.
Wow.
So Randy Jackson's doing this number, and that foot comes out from under him. Swear to God. And I looked. I said, but Steve Perry ran by him. He's like, "Motherfucker, if you step,
Talking to Mike.
if you step on this cord again, you're gonna go into somersaults off
Wow.
the side of his head." But he yanked that cord as hard as he could, and he almost fell.
So you already saw a fight on stage, or about the fight.
They were on
stage.
their way out.
Yeah,
They-
okay.
When Randy Jackson started playing,
You already knew this was going to be their last time.
No one knew that for sure, but that was a
Precursor.
seeing that you could
Yes,
It was a
yes.
precursor
see
to
the
it.
tension.
So they
Wow.
call it comes down to millions, right?
Yeah.
Like he's making $1 million more than me.
Oh
Uh,
yeah, they're paying
Stepping on this,
500 a
yeah,
gig.
yeah. Stepping on this cord is worth at least $500,000.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
I have a question.
And we got
Is there? Go ahead, Gabe. Go ahead, Lewis.
No, we're good. Go.
Is there anybody right now that you do not that you haven't heard of in the past maybe year that you're listening to, or is it just old stuff like Old Hat? Anybody new in the last year that would be new to me?
Yeah.
ZZ Top.
Shit.
Who's that?
There's a girl named Valerie June. She's an Americana singer. She's great. She's great. Writes her own tunes. She's a little different.
Out of Texas or no?
No, I'm not. I think she's from like the Carolinas or something like
Okay,
that,
okay.
or yeah, I think it's something like that. Virginia, somewhere up there. But she's great, man, and it's not heavy stuff.
Right, right.
You know, it's Americana kind of R&B ish, right?
Mhm.
You can it's songs that you can tell she wrote on an acoustic.
Right. Okay.
But
Okay.
man, she's so good, so good.
That's what's up.
And you know, you see an artist like that, you're kind of like looking for that chink in the armor.
Right.
No, dude, she's the real deal.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
very unique voice. I mean,
And
it's
the
not.
songwriter too, right?
And she writes her own tune.
I love that.
It's
She
really
like that
good.
au natural chick. She's kind of like a hippie.
Dreads. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's her.
How about you, John? Anybody in the last year? I'll even give you a year and a half.
I mean, right now we're in this phase of regurgitating everything from movies to music, and these people that are coming up. That band that kind of sounds like Led Zeppelin, Greta Van Fleet.
Yeah.
They were intriguing for a little while.
Right on.
I don't want to see
It
them. I
was-
want to hear them
It was, but it was really good.
for a minute.
It's just I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. You sound like Led Zeppelin. I mean,
Right.
nothing bad, but you know.
It does, but
It
it's,
just-
it's also introducing kids that would,
True
would
that.
have not heard.
True
a
that.
Led
I'm not
Zeppelin
trying to
song
hate. I promise.
unless
but
it was
just,
through a video game or something,
Yeah,
or
yeah.
or some kind of Stranger Things series that everybody
Yeah.
jumped on.
right.
You know, there's a lot of music out there. What was the big hit that? Oh, it was a Journey song that Stranger Things.
No, it was
there was Journey too.
yeah, it was
Um,
Journey, but what was it?
They did "Don't Stop Believing"
Don't
again,
Stop
right?
Believing or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
They
these
did
kids are
another-
like, "That's a great song." It's like, well, it's been out 30 years.
They
There-
did it
there's
with Master of Puppets too.
There was Master of Puppets. There was that one.
The
And
next
then-
thing you know, Master of Puppets is like back on the charts.
what was the other
The
one?
last part of last year.
What was the last
Really?
one?
Yeah.
What was the last one that the girl actually
Product
listened
placement.
to?
Running up that hill.
Oh, you know what? I
Run
did hear
run
about
up the
that.
hill. Run up the hill.
You know,
Kate Bush.
Yeah, Kate Bush.
Yeah, Kate Bush.
You know,
Yeah.
I don't listen to a lot of.
Bush.
Which
Dude.
I've never seen any of them. Stranger Things. Never.
As far as new music for me, it's it's actually old music, which is, and I just really started getting into them. Honestly, the past year and a half is Five Finger Death Punch. I know they've been around. I liked them. I mean, I heard them, but never got into them. Like, so what happened? I just Spotify hooked me up. So I was like, let me listen to some Five Finger Death Punch tunes, and I was like, son of a bitch, I forgot how huge and deep their catalog was.
Mm-hmm. They got a bunch of
Hits
songs.
after hit after hit. So about a couple of months, Sam took me to go see Megadeth, and wound up becoming Megadeth. Played earlier. We missed the whole show. We saw Five Finger Death Punch. So I was blessed to see that. That was, man, a badass band. I mean, but they're not new. As far as new music, I get these artists that I do in my other podcast, which I'm going to push right now, called Broke Down at the Shack on the same YouTube channel. And I just basically do one-on-one with different kind of artists, whatever artist. This coming week I'm having T. Aguilar. He's gonna make beats and paint at the same time.
In here?
Yeah, I said, dude,
wow.
please tarp it up, please. But anyway, I run across so many good artists. This is one artist that I just had last week. He's a manager. He manages this girl. She won Singer of the Year in Waco. Very great.
Saw that.
But he is a great artist and doesn't push himself. He just does videos and does whatever to himself. And he has a song that has been stuck in my head, and is a badass songwriter, dude. So as far as listening to anything new, I've been listening to these new artists I've been having on my show, and they're all independent. And you'd be surprised how badass they are. They're right here in Waco, and but
Waco has
has
eyes on.
they're starting to make their spot for music now. Of course, we're all known for the Fixer Upper. Now we're known for the Backyard, but now we're getting known for our artists. We got another guy named Scuba Belly, a painter, painting up Waco right now.
Yeah, I know him.
Kicking
I know him.
ass, kicking ass. Him and T,
Mm-hmm.
him and T are just painting up Waco, making Waco badass for art. But as far as the music artists, man, I'm telling you, we got some badass ones that are barely getting out there, and they're doing all this stuff themselves. So that goes back around to the question I was asking you: do we need a record label? And I think that we don't, because these guys are already making waves. As a matter of fact, that guy that I had on last week is a guy named C. Walker, and he has a song called "Narcissist." Check it out on YouTube. That song is just stuck in my stuck in my head. It's like, matter of fact, I wish I could play it right now, but Gabriel, click on that iTunes icon down there. You see it at the bottom? It's not neither that. It's just him singing. It's just singing, but it's not. It's I don't know what you call it, pop or whatever, but it's a badass tune. Did you find it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, let me get over here.
And he has a video on this thing that is so creative and badass. So badass, dude.
I feel like a god, I cannot be stopped. You can't put the blame on me.
The chorus
What I say is
was
wrong,
get you
I
right.
am unflawed, to put it perfectly. I know you're upset, the way I just flipped it, I got you questioning. Am I going crazy? No, you're not crazy. See, look how the mood it just shifted. Look at the blame, I just switched it. Yeah. The feelings that I'm putting out, you can't hack. It's encrypted. Yeah. Now you just lost. You're
Yeah,
trying
this
to make
badass
this
just right there. That's just the verse. But this right here stays in my head. Watch. Chorus.
Narcissist. Yeah. Narcissist. Oh, narcissist. Yeah. Narcissist. Oh, narcissist. Manipulation.
Kill it, Gabriel. He can kill it.
Falsification,
Is that badass though,
manipulation.
man? Golly, dude, that's talent right here. Only he's out of T-Town, out of Temple. But anyway, dude, as far as listening to music, right now I've been listening to these local cats, and they're talented, just like the people you see on the radio. You'd be surprised how many people out there that are independent, that are just as popular. They just don't have the backing of the money, but they're talented. Trust me. and people out of Waco right now are killing it. And we're gonna be put on the map here soon. I guarantee you.
What's messed up about Waco though, like our daughter would like to get her own home instead of paying rent.
Right.
Well, you can't buy a house because this town's been gentrified pretty much. Your houses are too far. They're too expensive.
Oh, I know it.
Yeah.
If you wanted to stay somewhere temporary, you're still forking out almost $200,000.
Right.
You know.
That or someone's already bought the house and they're offering it to rent, and they tell people this is what people.
We're talking about guitar, music talent. Where are we going with this?
But they we're not attracting musicians to come here that may
No, and that's
take
gonna,
a chance.
no, that's going to be somebody hitting big out of here.
Well,
and that's what I said. It's
where
going to be
I'm
a matter
going
of
with
time.
this is Austin had things like ARC, the Austin rehearsals.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Like they had musician lofts and artist lofts to where these guys could move to town and do
Yeah,
art,
now
bring in
that's-
things and afford to live here.
That would be cool.
And that's what
But
needs to happen
it's
in
gonna,
Waco.
but that's different though. 'Cause remember, we're talking about 6th Street. They were known for musicians. And
The
we're
ones in
not known
downtown
for
Waco.
that. Right? We're barely getting there.
But they're not. These people are running from Austin. They want to get out of
Yeah.
Austin.
Wait,
You know
well,
what I mean?
if we can.
So where's a good
Because
place
really,
to besides?
These guys are playing Antones and stuff. They're doing the same gigs
Right.
that we are doing.
Yes.
They're playing these pizza houses
Yes,
and these
yes.
little spots, and they're not.
The
they're not
backyard,
paying it. They're
the
not paying it.
backyard.
Besides the
for sure.
backyard, where else could you play?
I mean,
In Waco.
they promised
know.
us that downtown would develop into a bunch of bars that would cater to us and have music down there and all that stuff. But it's for some reason it has not happened yet.
That's what
I think
No.
people are scared to pull the trigger. Besides the backyard, which are killing it.
Mhm.
They're scared to pull the trigger, and they're giving bands these little bullshit ass $300-400 gigs, and that shit don't cut it.
Well,
And
I mean,
and
it
but,
is. It's
no,
what
but
the
here's
going
what
rate
here's what
is,
here's
you
what
know.
I'm saying though.
Yeah.
Here's what I'm saying. Doing that, you get what you pay for. Sometimes you get some badass ones well, I've got so many good singer-songwriter guys that are just killing it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they're making that, whatever, them two guys, sure, that's two dudes, but for a whole band, no. I can't do that.
And what Silos is attracting, they're attracting sugary, saccharine, sweet folks that
Hipsters.
come in.
Well, no,
and they're,
really. Well,
They're ready to go to bed at 8:00.
Well-
when they should, they're in Waco.
Union Revival, those guys are awesome, and they play there, though.
Well, no. I'm
Yeah.
just saying.
You're talking about the hipsters.
I'm
Hipster
saying
type.
Oh,
we're
the
getting-
people.
We're getting the people.
Yes,
here,
yes.
But the demographic is they're in bed by 9.
Yeah.
They're not gonna see the bars.
Some trick them
and
to the
stuff like that.
backyard and do the day gig stuff.
The gay.
The day gig stuff.
Day.
But that's like I said, by 8:00 they're already long gone.
Well, yeah, the Silos people, they come in and they,
Well,
I'm gonna give you $1 million idea right here.
What's
for
that?
Waco, Texas. If you want to make some money, centered around music, then you go downtown and you open up a spot, or hell, just book out of it. Whoever owns the building.
right.
Just promote it, and you need to have music during the day.
Yeah, why not?
During like you're saying, during the day, man, it's like that.
If everybody's
7:30,
outside.
8:00 after they've done the Waco tour, the Silo, Magnolia Table,
They're exhausted.
maybe a piece of Cameron Park. They've gone shopping. They either want a drink or a bed.
Let me
Their
tell you,
day's
and,
done,
and
right?
that crowd is not letting up. It's just it's packed all the time.
Right before 8.
Before, like John said.
Before 8:00.
Yeah.
So, dude, I mean, you take.
it's not
what's-
only that, it's the super sweet saccharine. There may be the 3 housewives that got together and left their old man's that's hunting, and they might want to throw down a
Cougars.
little bit when they get here,
Damn.
You know what I'm talking about.
I have no
Other
idea
than
what you're
that-
talking about.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying.
It was a nice haircut.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying.
Sammy
That
says no
sweet
comment.
Susan from Wisconsin.
He says no comment.
Lewis,
they
you got
were
you got
nurses.
anything, brother?
Apparently Nirvana's getting honored at the Grammys again, but it's not the Grammys, but it's just some kind of like celebration of their
The Slammies.
or something like that. Yeah.
Right on.
Okay. Anything Nirvana. That's kick-ass. How much longer before somebody winds up making a movie? Because, I think he was. Even
They
though I
already
love.
made one.
Have they made one?
Yeah, they made one.
Who did it?
I don't know who, but I remember seeing the actor that played Kurt
Was it a
Cobain.
B-rated movie?
It was like a B-rated.
No, I'm talking about a movie. I'm talking about a real one.
Movie.
Because here's the deal. Was Kurt Cobain the icon of the 90s? Well, it couldn't have been. Was it? It couldn't. It's either him, Eddie, or Chris. But I'm saying Kurt was the. When you think of 90s grunge,
He was
90s era, I think Kurt Cobain.
I don't think they're going to make a Nirvana movie.
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying was he? Who was the icon of the 90s? Was Kurt Cobain the icon of the 90s?
Yeah, I mean for that kind of
basically,
for that kind of stuff. I mean he's the one who blew it up.
I think that's right.
Soundgarden was out before Nirvana, and then Pearl Jam had a huge album around the same time as Nirvana, but there was still nobody bigger than Nirvana.
I agree.
Yeah, he was the dude.
It was a Nevermind album, right?
Yes. And then the next one, In Utero.
Oh, you know what? I didn't
was
have
great,
that
too.
one. I just had the first one. I had the very first one. Well, actually, the very first one was Bleach. I didn't have that one either. I had the Nevermind.
What do they say? He killed rock and roll.
Dude, let me tell
He
you.
killed the hair metal band, right?
When he came on the scene, I heard that song and I loved it. I said, that's badass. I didn't know. Oh, I wasn't one of those guys who goes, oh, that's gonna fucking take over. I just thought it was a badass song. It just so happened that overnight it just took over. It just like, wow. He made all that 80s stuff uncool. And they're like,
The
overnight.
The hair metal band, right?
Yeah. Overnight he did it.
Yeah, I heard him first, and then when I saw the video, and it's just not what it wasn't the kind of video you were seeing back then, right? There weren't half-naked girls or anything like that, and that cat was in a sweater. He had messy hair all over his face, and the bass player's moving all crazy. But when I saw that, I went, man, this is not good for Faster Pussycat.
The opposite of all of that.
I said, this is not good for those guys. This is different, right? It felt kind of, just it felt a lot more rock and roll, right? Against the grain.
In the 80s, I was more 16 Candles than I was.
Oh, well, true. Louis, you got anything else,
You
brother?
know what I mean? I wore penny
That's
loafers.
it.
That's all
So
it is.
I
right,
could
folks.
care less.
Nice.
Oh, did we forget to mention that we lost a member of the Fleetwood Mac?
Oh, yeah.
No, we didn't. That's been a couple of weeks ago, though, brother.
Christine McVeigh.
I know, but we didn't address it here in the
Yeah, that's
show.
true. That's true. We lost a few of them this past year, and also, I saw past. Yeah, I think this past week was Nicholas from Eight Is Enough.
I saw that.
I forget his name.
Yeah.
Man, I haven't seen that guy.
Yeah, I forget how he died, and
He was the littlest kid, right?
Yeah.
I feel old now.
yeah.
I had that same haircut.
And Gangster
Me
Boot,
too.
Gangster Boot died last week from 3-6 Mafia.
Oh, wow.
Was
I'm
that
not-
a chick, right?
That was a chick, yeah,
Okay, I
badass.
saw Shelby
But,
or some.
but anyway, R.I.P. to them, and I guess this
Oh.
Thursday. Go ahead, brother.
You saw a murder.
Yeah, I did see a murder. A murder, you say?
It's Savannah.
It was, Georgia.
I saw TCU. I saw an assassination. Oh my God! And boy, it was like I could not. It was literally like watching the varsity play the JV.
It wasn't even varsity playing JV. It was
No.
like varsity playing freshmen.
Or
it was like the Dallas Cowboys playing the Austin School of the Blind. Where
No,
is he
I
going?
think Austin School of the Blind would still do better.
But man, let me tell you, it was just all the way around. Offense,
Sorry,
defense,
Bobby.
just all the turnovers was almost comical.
That was Georgia's practice game. That's what that
all
was.
the just the plays, they had nothing for them at all, and you can tell obviously by the first half, and it was 32-7. He's like, boy, you're hoping, you're from Texas, you're hoping, you know what? Slap themselves in the face. Let's get back in there. But that was the opposite. It was just the ass weapon kept getting worse, worse till it was wound up becoming 65, right?
65-7.
65-7. That's just, boy. And so that being said, what does that say about the Big 12?
we're not going to see a lot more of what happened. They're making a point. There's a point to be made.
I see that for sure.
Because really, you said, game of gentlemen, they should have, pulled the plug and put the water boy in there or whatever.
If that was Alabama, what would have happened?
The game
Bama
would have
would've
been a
been-
lot closer. We'd have been talking 7 points difference
I don't think so. I think Bama would have
during the whole game.
I don't know, but here's the
Not
deal.
47
Here's the deal about Bama and Saban. There's a lot to say about experience and being at the show.
That's what I was saying today.
Yes.
How many quarters have you been in the big game?
Yes.
TCU hadn't been there since '68.
They did.
Georgia's there. Georgia's forgotten the championships they've been in.
I think that was the case right there in
Yeah.
a nutshell, John.
There's just
They were
happened
never
to
at the
Dak
big
last
show.
week
Yeah.
because Dak knew he could lose it
Right.
if he lost, but he showed up that first time he looked downfield. I could tell you he's not going to do very well in the playoffs.
And TCU saw the big lights and choked.
They were not ready, and their asses were at the strip clubs in Atlanta for sure.
Were they?
Oh, you can bet. Christians in Atlanta.
Right,
It's
maybe
in the
that
name.
was right.
It's in the
Horned
name.
frogs.
Folks, Thursday on this same YouTube channel, check out my other show called Broke Down at the Shack, where I have different artists each week. Different artists, whatever kind of art. And this week we have a good friend of mine named T. Aguilar. He's going to do something
Awesome.
very kick-ass. He's going to do make music while he paints some badass pictures. And he's just a badass person to talk to. I love T. He's a kick-ass dude. And that's it. Please subscribe. This is the main channel for all my shows. So we're going to try to put out